Hi there. A couple of weeks ago in Manna Moments 7, I reflected on good manners. This week it's all about gratitude. Isn't that the same thing, you might ask? Well, I think one springs from the other. Gratitude is an emotion like happiness, sadness, fear, anger, jealousy, joy, all of which affects how we behave, particularly to others. Gratitude is one of the more positive emotions, one of those that makes us feel good. It's defined as the quality of being thankful and a readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. There's a classic children's story called Pollyanna, which was published in 1913, and I became quite familiar with it when I was a children's bookseller. Pollyanna is a child who transforms the world around her by always choosing to remember the pleasant things rather than concentrating on the unpleasant. And it developed into a way of living known as the Pollyanna principle. But for me, it reminds me more of the classic Johnny Mercer song. You've got to accent the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with Mr. In-Between. Because gratitude is one of the ways we interpret our lives and how we live it alongside others. Like any other skill, the ability to recognise gratitude grows the more we use it. So how can we build up an attitude of gratitude? Well, like any other skill, start small and build up. Remember how you acquired your skills in reading and swimming, riding a bike, computing, playing a musical instrument. It's hard to start off with, but with practice over time we get better. And think of when we return to the skills we haven't used in a while. And we find that we may need to relearn some and even update them. Use it or lose it was one of the things I was told in training courses. So do we look for the good things that happen every day in our ordinary and unremarkable lives? Or do we only concentrate on the bad things that happen to us? It can be hard to recognise where and what we need to feel grateful for. One way might be to take 5 minutes to jot down 5 things we're grateful for on that day. There's always something to be grateful for. There's a popular legend attributed to the North American culture, which you may have heard of before. It's a story a grandfather is explaining to his grandchild that inside each person there are 2 wolves fighting to gain control of that person. One is darkness and despair. The other one is light and hope. The grandchild asks, which one wins? The grandfather replies, the one that you feed. Our Bible offers us any number of examples of people showing gratitude to God, even in the most unlikely and difficult situations. In the Old Testament, there's King David joyfully dancing before the ark when it was brought to Jerusalem. There's Hannah's prayer of thanksgiving after the birth of Samuel. Miriam's song at the defeat of the Egyptians. And there's Daniel blessing and thanking and praising God, even in captivity and exile in Babylon. And in the New Testament, we have Mary's songs of praise after the angel's visit. The Samaritan leper who returns to thank Jesus for his healing. Jesus himself, who always found time to give thanks and praise to God. I always find it striking that he and the disciples sang hymns of praise when they left to go to the Garden of Gethsemane before his arrest, and Jesus knowing all that lay before him. And of course, Paul's letters are full of gratitude to God for the life and the work of the new churches, the different ways of expressing. It's so easy to be put off by these examples and think that there's nothing so much in life to be grateful for. but there always is. Piglet in Winnie the Pooh sets us a good example, because Piglet noticed that even though he had a small heart, it could hold rather a large amount of gratitude. What's been your Manna moment this week? Why not let me know? God bless and see you next week.